Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant and welcome to a special bonus episode of Let's Play Pokémon SoulSilver. Today we're going to be taking a better look at the Goldenrod City Game Corner, specifically Voltorb Flip. Now this game is, well, the best way to describe it is it's a cross between Minesweeper and Sudoku. What you have to do is reveal as many of the score multipliers, the 2 and 3 times multipliers, as are on the field. Now there are 4 kinds of numbers. You can find a 3, a 2, a 1, or a Voltorb. If you hit a Voltorb, it's game over. The easiest way for you to determine what rows have Voltorbs or not is whether or not there's a 0 next to the little Voltorbs in the colored columns and rows. You can see at the bottom here, for instance, the red row all the way on the left, 7 points, 0 Voltorbs. So this is one of the rows that you're going to want to clear out before actually moving on to reveal anything else. And you can see the purple row on the bottom here also has 0 Voltorbs, so it's safe to reveal all of those. Next, you want to take off all of the rows and columns that do not have any of the score multipliers. In order to do that, you have to look to see if the number of points and number of Voltorbs add up to 5. If they do, the most points you can find in that row is 1, and you will not gain anything from revealing any of those points. So what I like to do is open up the memo here and mark off all of the rows and columns that have a maximum of 1 point in any of the spaces with 1s. This way I don't accidentally flip them over. But unlike Minesweeper, you can still flip over the spaces that you mark, so just be very careful of that. Now you can see there are only 4 spaces that could possibly have the multipliers in them. And at this point, it's pretty much a guessing game. So just go with your gut feeling here. If you get lucky, you find them all. That's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, I could give you a couple of pieces of advice on exactly what you want to be doing, but for the most part, it's mainly luck. So I'll just play through this as long as I can go. And you can also quit a game if you feel like, if you aren't confident in your abilities to guess. But you have to be careful because if you quit, just like if you lose a game, you have the chance of losing your level, whatever level you're up to. You can go up to a maximum of 7 levels, and the higher up you go, the more points you can possibly earn. Now, in this row over here, the bottom row, although the number of points and Voltorbs adds up to 7, you can see we've revealed a 3 spot here. So if you take that 3 spot away, the remaining 4 spaces have 2 points and 2 Voltorbs, which adds up to 4, and there are only 4 open spaces, so we can mark this row off. But any of these remaining spaces could possibly have a score multiplier, so we gotta pretty much reveal as many of them as we can now. And it looks like we passed level 2 as well, and you can see we got many more points from level 2 than we did in level 1. So as you can imagine, if you can do this for all of the higher levels as well, you'll start gaining a lot more points. But even so, just imagine how long it would take for you to get 10,000 points to get the really good TMs. Be here for a very long time. And depending on just how badly I want those TMs, I may spend a couple of hours grinding for them. I haven't decided whether or not I want to do that. I may eventually do it for only 1 TM, because you do eventually get Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and Ice Beam later on in the game. It's just, they'd be really nice to have right now. But you can see there are 12 spaces that we can't mark off at this point, so you really have to start guessing once you get down to, well, once you get past the first few levels. Like 5 points, the remaining spaces here could only have 1s, so let's mark them off. And I believe that's also true for this one, so there are only 6 spaces where they could be. Here you can see there are 3 Voltorbs on any of these rows, whereas there's only 1 here. I think we're more likely to find them up here, but it's just a guessing game at this point. I'm getting really lucky. Sometimes I get lucky, but most of the time I'm just not lucky. Now let's see. I think either of these rows are just as likely. This one's a little bit more likely, because up here, there's a 2 and a 1. Here you can either have a 3 and a 1 or a 2 and a 2. So you're slightly more likely to find one in the middle row here. But we've already revealed a 3 on this row, so there's only going to be a 2 here or a 2 here. If you spend a lot of time thinking, you could probably figure it out, but for the most part, when it gets to this point, I just like to guess. It saves a lot of time. Why did I do that? Because it was clearly the other 2 spaces. I feel like an idiot now. Oh well. I think what I'll do for this particular video is swap the top and bottom screen. Because I'm clicking around the bottom screen here, revealing spaces and everything, but it's annoying to have to look down at that tiny little screen compared to the big one that doesn't have anything interesting on it, so I'll probably flip the 2. So if you're wondering why one is on top and the other one's on the bottom, even though they should clearly be reversed, that's why. Now let's see. Just gotta get lucky. I like to guess whenever you have the highest 2 point totals, I just guess the one in the middle, because more often than not, that's going to be a multiplier. Isn't always the case. It's just where I like to guess. And eventually, if we lose often enough, our level will get knocked down. I'm not sure if it's random, or if there's some sort of logistics going on in the background, keeping track of how many things we flip over, how many points we get. I've never bothered to check. I don't know if anybody's actually done enough research on that to actually think about what's going on. Since most people generally are not a fan of this game, I don't think much research has gone into it. I have not looked into it at all. But even if you have, it's just a simple side game that really doesn't have much going for it. In the Japanese version, you could play slots. It's just that in any version other than the Japanese, you get stuck with Voltorb Flip, and for the most part, a lot of people weren't very happy about that. I'm getting really lucky finding these things. So let's see, 6, 7, 8, one of these is a Voltorb, can knock out that column. Let's see, since we found a 3 here, can knock out that row as well. There are only 4 spots left. I don't want to guess. I hate guessing. Because that happens when you guess. But if you don't think that was worth it, we would have gone from 27 coins to 6 times as many, whereas here we only lost 1. So if that's a 50-50 chance, it's totally worth it. And usually what I like to do is just play this game until I get knocked down to level 2 or level 1 again, because I'll usually get to level 5 or 6-ish. And once you eventually get knocked down to those levels, you might as well just restart, so I like to save and then come back to try again. It doesn't cost you any coins to play this game, which is awesome. Unlike the slots, which do cost you coins. And of course, the original Gold and Silver had slots as well. Should I... One of these has to be a 2. 6... Don't do this to me, game. Don't make me guess. I don't like guessing! I don't like guessing! I mean, this game isn't as good as Minesweeper because there's a lot more guessing involved, which I suppose you'd expect in a game corner where you expect gambling and the like. But I've gotten unusually good at Minesweeper lately, so this game feels like a step down. I mean, it's not as bad as Thrill Digger and Skyward Sword, but it's still kind of bad. We've got a really bad layout here, because I have no idea where anything is. Shoot, one of these is a Voltorb, one of these is not. And I got lucky! So let's just mark the other one with a Voltorb so we know it's a Voltorb, even though we kind of know that already just by looking at it. Oh boy. I mean, for the most part, you will be rewarded if you guess. In fact, that was really risky. I don't know why I did that, because that was only a 1 in 3 chance. I'm not thinking. I should spend much more time thinking. The only problem with playing puzzle games like this while you're doing a Let's Play or commentating over it is that you don't really pay attention to what you're doing, and that's generally not a good idea when thinking is involved. So now that we have 96, I'm actually very afraid to take any risks. So let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Torb. 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure this one's guaranteed to be a 2. And there we go! We can finally move on to the next level! 192 coins. Took a while, but we're still here and we didn't lose our place. So let's see how much higher we can go. Once you get around level 4, level 5, it's just about all luck. So, I mean, I guess if you're not at all interested in this game anymore, now would be a good time to get out. I'm just going to be playing this as long as I can until I get knocked down to level 1 or 2, because that's usually what I like to do if I'm just doing this casually, and since it's a bonus episode, most people won't be watching it anyway. I figure why the hell not. I'm having fun. Plus, this is my best excuse for grinding for coins as I'm gonna have, so why the hell not? How do you guys feel about this game, by the way? I can't be the only one that actually enjoys it, but not to the point where I'll sit here for hours and hours just playing. Guessing. Why are you making me guess? Oh. I think this is about when the game will start knocking down my levels. Nope, not yet. I'm getting lucky in that regard. I don't know if it has to do with how long you're playing, how many cards you flip, if the number of cards you flip does affect whether or not you get knocked down in points. This is not good, is it? Yeah, I can't mark off too many columns here, and a lot of these are going to be very similar. Voice cracks! Well, revealed all of those. And we can mark off this column as well. And this one. So they're down to 4 spaces already. 6 points, 1 Torb. So it's either a 3 and a 1 or a 2 and a 2. This is either a 3 and a 1 or a 2 and a 2. Same for here, same for here. So it's 50-50 which one I pick. Or not. So this one's guaranteed to be 3! Which means the one up above here is guaranteed to be a 1, which means this one's guaranteed to be a 3. And 243 coins! We're making our way. Now, assuming I don't get up to that level, the highest level you can get up to in this game is level 7. It takes a while to get up there, especially with how much luck is involved. But once you get up there, you can't get any more points than that. So don't expect to get any higher than level 7. Any more rows we can knock out, since there was a whole row of Voltorbs here. Kinda got lucky having that column here. But not lucky with anything else, really. Knock out this one, too. So we're down to 9 spaces. Got a 1 in 3 chance here hitting a Torb. Or a 1 in 4 chance, because it could also be down here as well. Well, no reason to just sit around here gawking, might as well just guess. Really tempted to click that space. Glad I didn't. 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, looking at the row on the left here, the column on the left, we've revealed 4 points. There are 3 points left between 2 spaces, so the only multiplier we have left has to be a 2, because the other open space is a 1. And the only multiplier here is also a 2, so that doesn't really tell us much. Let's try that space. Failure! We still haven't dropped down a level. I'm very surprised. The game is being nice to me, for once. And you can see up there, we got 11 points in that row. I really just want to start flipping stuff. Because 11 points means 3, 3, 3, and 2. We're guaranteed that all of the spaces here that we didn't mark off with the 1 are multipliers. That doesn't happen very often. And since we revealed the 3 over here, we can now mark off this column as well, which has 3 Voltorbs on it. Very nice to mark off. But all of these could also have stuff in them. So let's see, we're down to 6 spaces here. We got 3 points off up there, so we got 4 points spread through 4 spaces. One of these has to be a 2. Let's see, we got rid of the 3 here, so we got 3 points spread out through 4, so one of these has to be a 2. We marked off the 2 here, so we're down to 4 points. 4 points spread out through 2. These are just about even. The only difference is the row. One of these only has 1 Voltorb, the other has 2. So I guess our best bet is to start on the blue row. And since that's a 2, we can mark off that. But one of these is still a 2. So we have 50-50 chance of multiplying our score by 4. I like those odds. And now we're up to almost 1,000 coins already. It only took 17 minutes. So if you get lucky, this isn't that bad. It's just that your luck won't always be as good as mine is right now. And we can only mark off 1 row. That's unfortunate. Usually when you get to the higher levels, you start having a whole ton of Voltorbs. Maybe you get lucky and have them all on 1 row or column like I did before. But other times you'll just get stuck like this. And it looks like the best place for me to start guessing is down here, because there's only 1 Voltorb and the rest are multipliers, so I gotta reveal as many of these as possible. Of course, there was only a 25% chance of that happening, but knowing my luck. And we finally get dropped down to level 1 after all of that hard work. So, we got 980 coins out of that. Wouldn't take too long to accumulate 10,000 coins at that rate for a TM. But that's Voltorb Flip. And Liz is so excited about hearing our success at that game that she's going to... Hi, Tanya? Who the hell is Tanya? Really, Liz? Oh well. This has been Voltorb Flip. NHC Beetle is very happy. I'll see you guys next time in the main game when we take on the Goldenrod City Gym and beat up Whitney. This is UniversalGiant. I'll see you guys next time.